Every Maine business adds value to our state. Diversity adds strength and beauty to our communities. We each have different journeys with a common goal: to prosper and contribute to a vibrant, thriving future in Maine, all to help strengthen the economy. Greenlight Maine and Bangor Savings Bank present Elevating Voices, a celebration of Maine's diverse business community.
You can find the authentic taste of Thailand in the greater Portland area. Pam Bupaja owns 4 restaurants. We caught up with her on a busy day at her Falmouth location called Orchid Thai, where she's created the savory aromas and taste of where she grew up in Bangkok. When you started, what kind of business did you want to open? Did you always know it was going to be in the restaurants?
Good question. I never know that it's gonna be restaurant, but when I'm the kids, I love to play with the things to cook. And when I grew up a little bit, I like to cook because I'm doing the business. My parents doing business, so I have a lot of employees. So I might cook some lunch for them, playing like how to do the noodle dish, something like that. And my grandmom good cook, so I just learned from her, and I enjoy cooking since then.
What made you decide to move to the United States?
Most Thai students at that time, the bachelor degree not enough. Most students like to go abroad to get the English as a second language. And the most famous country that they like to get the English is like England or United States or Australia or New Zealand. So I chose to come here because one of my parents' partner gonna open a Thai grocery in Boston that gonna sell Thai newspaper, Thai magazines too. So my dad saw the opportunity that they doesn't have to worry that whom I gonna stay with, because we have no relative and none of us ever come to the US before. That's why I chose to come to get the master degree in Boston first. Yeah, got master degree in hotel and restaurant management from Johnson & Wales, graduate year 2000.
After that, Pam moved to Maine to manage a restaurant in Brunswick called Thai Dish. What was it like when you first moved to Maine? What did you think?
When I came to Maine, first day that I drove to Maine, it's heavy snow, very, very heavy snow. It's so dangerous. I still remember that picture. And I'm not like big city, so I don't mind. I never feel lonely because I work too much. I woke up early, work until late night, and times go by fast. And customer in Maine is much better. I mean, nice people. They spread the word right away. They're talking to me. They know how I came up here. Yeah, and the newspaper put the story about me, about the restaurant. So the restaurant in Brunswick at that time called Thai Dish, year 2000, is successful. Yes, it's more than I expect, and I learned a lot, and I'm happy with it. But I never to think to open the second, the third, the fourth. It just happened. It's just right time. It's just the right opportunity. It's just my motivation, like to do it at that time. But if you ask now, enough.
So you certainly have built an empire here with your restaurants. When was the moment that you knew that it was all going to work out?
All going to work out. I just confidence because I know customer here. I love what my recipe. I love the food. It's not Americanized. If I love the food, if I'm proud of my food, I'm willing to show, and I get feedback from customer. If customer comment anything, if it makes sense, if it's right, if it's not consistency, I'm listening, and I tell all my staff or my chef that I'm not complain anything except if customer complain or write a review. I'm not 100% trust that, because sometimes it might have like if the service slow, it's so busy only that moment, but everyone willing and 100% working in their ability, but maybe it's more efficient than that. Yeah, so That's how I think I'm confident every location I open. I never 50-50. Yeah. Even if all three locations, same food.
Let's talk about the food a little bit. So, all of the food is authentic from Thailand.
Yes. Mhm. Like pad Thai. In Thailand, might use tamarind juice, but I'm not agree with that because it's not consistency. Each tamarind juice is never sour or sweet at the same, and some customer might stomach ache from that. My sensitive with that concentrate fruit, so I use the lime juice, palm sugar, and the fish sauce. I have to choose the brand that not too strong fish sauce, something like that. That's for example. For curry, I have to search that what brand of coconut milk is good and the color, consistency, and when we make the base, we not make it the right taste yet because we're gonna simmer more when before we serve, so it's gonna be more saltier. It's gonna be so I'm in detail for what I'm cooking, what's my food. I can see right away that what's missing, what is not right, and even if my staff know how to do that too because I train a lot.
Palm doesn't need the social media following. She's built her business the old-fashioned way. Word of mouth has served her well, and her customers love to come in often, not just for the food. They love to visit with Palm.
It was such a friendly place,
Yeah,
and
it was nice.
and so personal that it was hard not to go there.
And she loves what she does. So important.
We'd formed a real close friendship with Palm.
Yeah.
Let's talk about your menu. Tell us about how many menu items that you have.
A restaurant have to consistent, have to be smaller menu, but I cannot get rid of anything. Orchid Thai smallest already, but every week I keep adding special menus, and so funny, it's so popular. I cannot take off the menu. My chef laughing that my letter size A4 paper not enough to fit those menus. So, another thing that I came out with special menu. Believe it or not, Sandy cook breakfast for me every morning, not on the menu. I always request something new. Let's just try making something on the that I saw on the social media. I keep saying social media. I mean, I keep looking Facebook, Instagram a lot, and that she's always bring the food to my house, to my family, four of us plus my nephew, my niece, another three. Every 9 o'clock, never be late, and always cook from scratch. So whatever is so good, everyone's so good, it's on the menu on Friday.
That's so nice. Yeah.
I never end up with any idea for special menu, and it's never the same, and it's still authentic, not fusion for sure.
ที่ทำอาหารให้ที่บ้านป๋อมเนี่ยมันเป็นอาหารพื้นๆของเมืองไทยแล้วก็ที่เนี่ยจะหากินได้ยากแล้วก็มันง่ายสำหรับพี่เองตัวพี่เองที่ทำอาหารออกมาแล้วก็แฮปปี้ทุกอย่างมีความสุขทำอะไรออกมาก็ชอบหมดทุกอย่างแล้วถ้ายิ่งคนที่กินเข้าไปเนี่ยบอกว่าชอบและอร่อยเงี้ยโอ้โหยิ่งทำไม่หยุดค่ะ
I really happy that nowadays Americans know how to eat more authentic Thai food. They can eat spicy. They can try southern food that's so spicy. They open mind to try new things that not just pad Thai, drunken noodle, fried rice. So I'm happy to never think about special menu, and I like people to really know what is authentic. I don't want people to misunderstand that Thai food have to be the wrong way, or I like people to eat like what we eat in Thailand, what we cook at home. So I will appreciate if everyone come to try my food, especially when Sandy cook at Orchid Thai in Falmouth. I guarantee you will love it. You will understand that, oh, this is real Thai.
Through their efforts to support Maine entrepreneurs who are growing our economy, Greenlight Maine is making our state a better place to start and operate a business. For these efforts and the creation of a robust entrepreneurial ecosystem, the Harold Alfond Institute for Business Innovation at Thomas College is proud to be a sponsor of Greenlight Maine.
There's a newspaper in Maine called Anjambo Africa that's growing fast and gaining publicity every day. It's just one of many projects George Budagu Mokoko started under his nonprofit organization called Ladders to the Moon Network, all because it fulfills a need.
Yeah, so the goal for Anjambo Africa, it's very big, because we want to reach out to as many people as we can, and we want to translate the materials that because if we had all the resources, we can translate every article that we publish in English and translate in French and the other languages that we publish, because I understand that we publish in French, Swahili, Kinyarwanda, Somali, Portuguese, and Spanish, and we can also include Arabic that we haven't been able to include because of, again, the limitations of resources. So my goal is to make sure that we out there and be the number one source of good information for the immigrant community, but also the host community in terms of why immigrants are here, the issues of immigrants, and how can we even promote peace from countries where refugees or immigrants are coming from, so that they don't have to leave their home and come here. Or they can leave by choice, but not by being forced to leave.
So you moved here in 2002. What was it like then, moving to Maine, compared to people moving here today?
Excellent question. In 2002, one of the major differences between then and now, it's the diverse, how the numbers of immigrants who are here, mostly in Portland here. And I remember when I arrived here June 19, 2002. So I still remember vividly the day that I arrived here. And at that time, I knew pretty much everybody from Congo, Rwanda, and Burundi. That's how few we were. So if I'm not mistaken, I could do more research and find out, but we were probably less than 30 people from Rwanda, Burundi, and Congo, and the reason why I'm saying Rwanda, Burundi, and Congo is it's called the Great Lakes of Central Africa, and so there were few people from Congo, very few people from Rwanda, very few people from Burundi at the time, and we knew each other. So things changed very quickly, starting in 2007, 2005, 2007, 2010. Now I can't even begin to, there's no way I will know who's from where. It's just like you can see that's more diverse.
You move here, you're highly educated, you have a business degree.
Yes.
How difficult is it to get a job?
When you arrive here and you don't speak English, right at the get-go, you're just limited. So you don't have so many options. And so first, number one thing that you have to do, like if you find a job, you find a job that is not based on your education or your background. And so you have to work in factory. There's nothing wrong with that. It's very good and you provide for your family, but you want to work, in a job, do the job that you're qualified to do. And one of the difficulties coming to your questions becomes the limited choices that you have. You only do manual work, and because of the English. And it wasn't hard to find that kind of job, but it was hard to find a professional job, because when you go so I went to USM and took my ESL, or my English as second language. After I finished, then I started looking for a job. And then of course your English is not as good as other who are looking at the same job. So if you're interviewing for the same position with somebody who was born here and who has the language, you can understand that the likelihood that you are selected is very less. So that was very difficult to find professional jobs. I know people, ministers, doctors, pharmacists, all high-end, professionals, but they left everything and they moved here and they have to start. Even learning a new language, so you can understand how depressing and how difficult it is. And they have to. The only one thing that keeps them going is because they appreciate the fact that they are alive, because they know their friends or relatives who died as a result of the conflict. So that keeps them going, because they hope that as long as I have a life, I have hope, and they start building their life up again. So it's very difficult.
Difficult to say the least. A big reason for the paper is to educate Mainers on the crisis in Africa. People there don't want to leave, they are forced to in order to survive.
Hey Maine, how are you? Yes, you. How are you really? It's a question we rarely ask ourselves. But to Northern Light Health, how you are means a lot. So ask away. Then connect with us at northernlighthealth.org/howareyu.
Maine Technology Institute, offering grants, loans, and equity investments to help support Maine's innovation economy and committed to supporting new ideas with potential to grow. Visit mainetechnology.org.
Albin, Randall, and Bennett, committed to providing accounting solutions to Greenlight Maine startups, working with businesses and organizations that operate locally and nationally. ARBCPA.com.
What do you want people who are from Maine, who have lived here all their lives, to know about refugees moving here?
Yeah, one of the things that I want them to know is that it's very difficult to come here and start life again after moving for your own countries. And I'll give you an example. If you've been here in Maine all your life, your family members are here, you established and you have your investments, you have a job, you have everything. And God forbid something happened, and then you have to leave everything behind and go, let's say, to Canada or somewhere in Europe, and you have to start all over again. And if you are not lucky, you find that this place that you're moving to, they don't speak English. Let's say they speak, Spanish, and you have to learn Spanish again. That's how difficult it is for the immigrants who are coming here.
Mary Ellen Lindeman advertises her well-established and popular Maine coffee business in Amjambo, Africa, and is a longtime supporter of the refugee community.
It's amazing. I think that this is, they've proven themselves. They're off to an amazing start, and I think that having news that a community trusts, which we've all learned over the past few years, is critically important. Who's actually telling you the news, and are they giving the full picture of the news? And what are the stories we all want to hear? We do need to know information about what's happening in our communities, but we also want to celebrate the good news too. I think so often what we hear about the different people coming to our communities from Congo and Rwanda, and what we hear is the negative or the frightening part of it, which obviously they've left for a reason. But what I so appreciate with Amjambo is they show the human side and the beauty of the people who are coming here. And for a state who needs to grow, we need educated workers, we need more families. When you see what is going on within the communities and what they are bringing to Maine, we should be very grateful. And so Amjambo really tells the good news stories, as well as this is information you need to know about your local community here, but also back where you came from. People do want to know what's going on in the news in their own countries, and so how do you actually have someone here distill that information, present it in, I think they're up to 7 languages now. And that they've expanded not only from print, but their podcast. So how many different ways can we actually get information out there? As we all know, not everyone picks up printed newspaper, although here in Maine it's amazing. We're very tangible people. I'm a tangible person. I get my newspapers delivered. I love when I get Amjambo tucked into my newspaper. But also here, I have to say, at Diamond Street, we distribute Amjambo, and I'm consistently having to call and tell them that we're out. So people are coming here, they're relying on it, they're taking it as their source of news information and community information.
All right, so tell us about your team.
So the team it's a very small team, but very passionate in what they do. And we have the co-founder, Kit Harrison, who started it when I came up with the idea, and she was there and she helped, and we started doing everything from the conception to the production.
I met George in Rockland as part of the Camden Conference. He was doing a presentation on his book, Ladder to the Moon Network, and I attended, was very fascinated, thought he was a great storyteller, went up and talked to him, invited him to come speak at my school. At the time I was teaching in a K-8 school in rural Maine, and I wanted the kids to know that there were people speaking French from other parts of the world living in Maine. I was, at that time, a French teacher. So he came, we spent the day together, got along really well. I said, what kind of projects are you working on? He said, well, I have this dream to start a publication. At which point I said, well, that's cool. I like to write and do things like that. Let's work on it together, and so we did. That was the launch of Jambo Africa, was in a rural school in Maine.
And we also have the deputy editor, Jean Hakuzimana.
When we choose the topics, we think about new Mainers in our mind. That's what we bear in mind. How can we serve them? What do they need? So the topics, they are diverse, but they range from education, healthcare, transportation, asylum seeking, shelter, whatever, food. How can they find the food bank or cooperatives, food stamp, those social services that are well needed. But also we go beyond, we bring sometimes the federal news, what's going on in Washington, who's going to be the candidate. That's something that sometimes you need to send out so that people might know what's going on outside. But we also go deep in the community. We talk to those entrepreneurs, new Mainers, who've got some good ideas to share with others, to help them, to encourage them to embrace this life in Maine. So that's how we choose topics.
But we also have the designer who does the designing, and her name is Stacy Warner, and then we use different freelancers and contributors from, we have correspondent now from Africa, we have here who will write articles in different, the health article, financing, so many things. So that's our team, and of course we have the board, the team, the board.
I have been there from the beginning when it was just ideas, when it was like a plan, but now it has flourished and it has expanded. And the goal and what I was more excited about the newspaper was being able to showcase the talents, the potential of the immigrants, to tell the stories. And now it's happening and we are seeing it, and people are starting to learn more about the immigrants and what they can do and what they are doing, and it's very exciting.
So it's a very wonderful team, and I'm very appreciative of what they do.
Where can people find your publication?
So we have two ways that we do distributions. Well, one, we do insertions into Portland Press Herald, so some copies, and also Bengal Daily News, and then we use the distribution company that does distribute throughout the state, and some of there is a Hannaford, you find them, and there's shows, and then we also have like a Coffee by Design, and other local places where immigrants have access to, like Silverlot, and those are the main places, and we use the same distribution company that does other papers, and of course we have online too, website www.jamboafrica.com, and also that's where you find them, and we have a social media, Instagram and Facebook. We are living in a very critical time where you see a lot of people coming here from different countries, and I think you all know that the issues of immigrants are the southern border, where thousands are crossing every day. And again, I'll come back to what I said in the beginning. Let's work hard first, welcoming people who are coming here because they're surviving atrocities where they're coming from, and be just human, because we all need help in life, And when you are in need, you desperately need, you would like to see somebody who can extend a hand and trying to help you. That's what the refugees and immigrants that we're seeing here. That's number one. Number two, let's promote peace where they're coming from. I mean, we're living in the most powerful country on earth, United States. They have all resources available, and I would like to believe they can do everything possible to stop the conflict so that people don't have to come here in the first place. For the last 5 years, we've worked very hard with the limited resources, but yet we've produced a very good quality of paper, but also the articles and the information that we share is very, very, very amazing. And I'm glad that we are where we are now, but we still need the resources and be able to even do a better job.
First Park, a 285-acre business park located in Oakland, Maine, offering fiber internet, 3-phase power, and pre-permitted sites for businesses to start or expand. Details at firstpark.com.
FAME came along at a time when we really needed somebody to believe in our mission.
It's so nice to have somebody actually try to understand what we're doing.
FAME helps Maine businesses and lenders get to yes for their financing needs.
Thank you, FAME.
Thank you, FAME.
Thank you, FAME.
Bangor Savings Bank, committed to investing in its employees, customers, and communities to help create a stronger northern New England. Bangor Savings Bank. You matter more.